Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a bit about how we can sync up the arms and the body movement into one motion. So I think that if we get the arms to move correctly in the swing, we can really do away with trying to turn too much. Okay, so if we look first of all at what happens with the lower body, I think to keep things simple, what we're really trying to do with the lower body is really just to keep it stable and give the upper body something to move over, right? So when I start here, obviously, we want to start in that K position. We've talked about many times, left side straight against the wall, right side bit of angle in the body. And then this gap here that I have between the knees, I want to maintain. Okay, so I don't really want to have a lot of extra knee motion in the swing. Really, the gap here stays the same. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of a turning in the lower body, okay, but the gap stays the same. On the way down, maintain that gap or even slightly increase it, and then the lower body's going to work through this way. So from the back angle, it's going to look this way. Obviously, we want to start fairly square. Now, when we swing back, we get that motion, okay? So the front knee goes in front of the trail knee here. So we want to have that look. So we create a little bit of depth in here, okay, on the backswing. Okay, so really on the backswing, we're really just trying to get a little bit of lower body turn this way, maintaining the gap and maintaining the stability in the feet. Okay, we don't want to have to overuse the lower body. And then it becomes even more important on the downswing that we're just really using the knees and the feet just to support the upper body motion. I don't think we've got to do any of this type of motion like this, right? We don't need to overuse that lower body. Like I said in the beginning, we're trying to get the lower body to support the motion of the torso and the arms, okay? So really we're trying to keep stable, not have any unnecessary movement in the knees and legs. Now if we look at what the upper body's doing, we've obviously got to try and sync the arms to the turn of the body. But I think we can look at it this way. If I was to swing back with the club just with my right arm only like this, so I'm really just swinging the club back, letting the right arm fold, get the elbow to point down, and get the right wrist to bend back. So I'm really just trying to get that motion. Now, from this position, if I just put my left hand on, it looks like I've got some turn there now. But really, it was just this shoulder and this right arm pulling the club around that way and pulling the body around that way, okay? So on the way back, that's what I've got. My lower body's just supporting it, supporting my upper body in the arms, and the right arm's working around that way, okay? Pulling my left arm, my left shoulder into the swing. Now the same thing can happen a bit on the downswing. This left arm is going to swing, so left arm and shoulder are pulling around this way. Now if I put my right hand in on the club again, it looks like I've created a lot of turn. So again, it's going to be right arm on the way back, left arm working on the way through. If I put my right hand on, looks like I've made the turn. Okay, so it's really a lot of that, especially on the downswing, a lot of that pulling and turning with the left shoulder this way. It's going to pull you through into that position. Okay, so we can get the feeling, if we can keep a really stable lower body, that we just get the club swinging with the arms. So I'm keeping my left hip on the wall, maintaining the gap in the knees on the way back, getting the arms and club to swing, letting the body react to that. Same on the way through. Feel like I'm creating more of a swinging motion with the arms, and that's pulling me through, okay? So it looks like there's a lot of turn in the swing, but it's really just the arm and the shoulder working on the way back and on the way through. So I think a really good way of practicing this is just with a medicine ball. I've done a video on this before, but you really just want to feel like, if you're going to throw that medicine ball, you keep your lower body stable on the way back. You let it go around this way. Okay, so I'm not having to consciously turn my body. Same on the way through. As I'm swinging through, body is pulled through. So I can feel a little bit like I am throwing with the body, but it's really the arms and shoulders pulling that way that's creating the motion, okay? So it's got to be, I could also practice that, just keeping that gap in my hands, So I'm keeping the gap in the knees, gap in the hands on the way back. Same on the way through, keeping the gap in the knees, gap in the hands. And that's really my golf swing. Then I just put my hands on the club, making the same motion. Everything moving back that way. Same on the way through. So you can create enough speed and you're really creating a really good control over the club. So obviously we want to control that club face and the whole shaft of the club throughout the swing. If we can do that, we can start to control the ball. But that's the motion we're looking for. Okay, everyone, I hope that helped. So really what we're trying to do is just keep this left hip on the wall, maintain the gap in the knees, staying fairly passive in the lower body. Obviously, it's just reacting to what the upper body's doing. That way I can maintain the gap, still get a little depth here in the knees. Okay? So the upper body motion is just to get that right arm and right shoulder pulling you around on the way back. Left arm and left shoulder pull you on the way through. Okay? Just let that lower body react to that motion.